Right, hello everyone. This is me. I haven't done a simulation in a little bit, so I'm decided I'll do another one. But this time I've changed it up, so instead of starting from the 2022 season, we'll be going through every single season, starting from 10 years back today. So we start at F1 2012, and then we'll move up throughout and see where we end up. See what our world champions would be. See if in 2012 Vettel will win his third championship, or will Fernando get his third? Who knows? We're gonna have to wait and see. Here we go. First race of the season, and we're off. Vettel currently on provisional pole, Hamilton P2, Button. Remember, this is all 2012 as well, so if the teams are different, like if I'm wrong, please like tell me or something. I don't know. But anyway, through here, and Vettel's on pole position. But at the back, Pedro de la Rosa and the rain car Takayan. Not really surprised that I have HRT. I had to use Haas's car for HRT because there wasn't thingy, and also there was 12 teams there instead of 20. So there was 24 drivers or 10 teams instead of 12 in the real life. So I had to like shorten teams basically. So I had the 10 best, and then the other two, Caterham and I think Marussia as well, got dropped. So Kobayashi 18th, then De Resta, Senna, Hulkenberg, Perez, Grosjean, Maldonado, Ricciardo, P11, then Michael Schumacher, and John-Eric Fern, Webber, Alonso, Massa, Raikkonen, then Jensen, Rosberg, Hamilton, and Vettel. And I have just exited for some reason, but anyway, it's 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. Good start there for Vettel, but Hamilton's still looking to get through on the inside. Rosberg also switching through there. The top 5 are all on softs there, going to be in a big fight for the lead, but Rosberg's dropping back. Button and Massa moving through now. Massa up into P3. Rosberg's trying to fight back, but Hamilton, look at the speed he's got compared to the Mercedes. Absolutely breezing through. Jensen, Button just hanging on for P2. Massa's falling back. Rosberg up into P4. And look at Rosberg now, around the outside of Button and Hamilton. Rosberg around the outside of his future teammate, and he gets the move done. Wow. Through the chicane, through this little bit here. Rosberg's looking to go through down the inside, and he's done that. And at the front, look at this, Rosberg in the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. His teammate, however, is down in P10. He's on the hard tyre strategy, so that's probably why. Rosberg set at 19.10. Well, Vettel set at 22. Anyway, let's move on. So I'm just gonna grab something. So Vettel's catching up from what it looks like. Once again to the front runners. And here we go then, Sebastian Vettel makes contact with Rosberg, but gets through up into P1. Rosberg drops down to second once more. Raikkonen holding on in P7 with the hards as well. Now Hamilton's going past Rosberg. Rosberg's dropping down quick here. Button also very close to Rosberg. Pedro de la Rosa is the first one to get lapped here. in this Grand Prix of only 8 laps done so far. He's the unlucky one. Soft tyres last 9 to 14 laps on this circuit, so it's going to be so the hard tyres are going to have to pit at some point. For the soft tyre runners, the pit window is open, and Button gets past Rosberg. Grosjean gets lapped. Grosjean is down to P19 on the softs in a Lotus. We didn't usually see that, but I think that's just I don't know, he's just not doing very well, I guess. But Vettel leads on to lap 11. Hamilton, close enough for a move, maybe. You don't know just yet, but still following in quite well. Button, I think, yeah, look at the wear on the top right. I reckon Vettel's going to pit this lap, and then Hamilton as well with it. Yeah, Button coming in as well. So Seb boxes onto new soft, so does the two McLarens. Not very surprised. Rosberg. Everyone who pits now will probably go onto the softs. Rosberg and Massa fighting for P4, and Massa goes through. Being held up by back markers though, and he's actually been pushed onto the grass. And this is letting Webber catch up. Look at Webber moving through. Raikkonen also being a bit slow. This is Webber's had a massive chance, and Rosberg now. These two are fighting for P5. And up the front, Jensen and Hamilton are fighting for P2, and Button's just slipped onto the grass. Hamilton keeps P2 from what it looks like. No rain, which is pretty regular, you know. I mean, it's legit Australia. There's no rain in the bloody desert, but possibly. It probably won't be. But anyway, Ricciardo's in the top 10 in the Toro Rosso. Pretty good race for him so far. So Vettel's absolutely dominated the Grand Prix. And Pedro de la Rosa, this is the second time he got lapped. He's been lapped twice. This is really embarrassing. Jesus. Fernando Alonso is now in P11, now P12, because Paul di Resta has overtaken Fernando. While his teammate's up in P4, Fernando Alonso is down in P13. Not a good start to the season for Fernando. But trust me, these ratings were given fairly. Fernando wasn't purposely given a bad rating. I can show you after this race, because he does have a higher rating than Massa. And that was absolutely dominating. He's nearly 3 seconds ahead of Jensen, who's in P2, and then you got Hamilton P3. Perez overtaken. Now, Perez would be in the Sauber, and it would look different. Just know that, alright? Perez is teammates with, I believe, wait, let me just remember, what's his name? Kobayashi. Yeah. Kobayashi's actually fighting with Alonso right now for P14? 13, yeah. Grosjean's going to get a lap once more. So will Kimi Raikkonen. Raikkonen's getting lapped for the first time, so is Ricciardo. Everyone's getting lapped here. There's a fight going on behind here. Rosberg and Massa for P4. These two were very close, but I don't think there's a chance really of them overtaking. Vettel wins the Australian Grand Prix. Hamilton will why can I not? Oh, I'm on Zoom. Sorry. Hamilton on P2, Jensen P3, Massa P4 for the Ferrari, then Rosberg, Webber, Hulkenberg in P7, Ricciardo, Raikkonen and Perez in the top 10. Good race there. Right then, so HRT Pedro de la Rosa finishes last with Maldonado and Senna P19 and 18, Carter K in P17, Grosjean 16, Eric Verne 15th, Schumacher 14th, Alonso 13th, Kobayashi 12th, 11th, Paul di Resta, and then in the top 10 you've got Perez, Ricardo, Raikkonen, Ricardo, Hulkenberg, Webber, Rosberg, Massa, Jensen Button, Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, which I believe in the constructors puts McLaren top, and just by 1 point though is the difference. Geez, that was quite close. I think we need to up the Williams rating, but I can't really change that now, can I? But yeah, look, Alonso has a higher driver rating. It's just luck, really. I've over here higher driver rating, so it's just luck though. Really. Back to the championship though. Into Malaysia. Can McLaren keep the lead the constructors? We have to find out. Sights out, and away we go here in qualifying. I think so. Apparently Vettel once again on provisional pole. This time Alonso's fighting at the top, and Grosjean slipping back. So is Rosberg as well. Rosberg's down P10. Heavy rain coming in, but it probably won't affect much. Maybe only the final corner for some drivers. Yeah. Actually, no, for no drivers whatsoever. The rain only starts now, as soon as everyone's finished, so not really big of effect. HRT slow once again, not surprised. Force Indias though, quite low down. Rosberg P10, Lotus finishing where they probably would be. Jensen Button's down in P7, so he needs to give a good race finish in the Grand Prix. Schumacher in P4, or P5, Alonso P6. I keep exiting for some reason. Right, anyway, continue. Lights out, and away we go here at Malaysia. Massa and Vettel fighting for the lead. Massa on the inside of Sebastian, and Massa takes the lead of the Malaysian Grand Prix. Vettel gets a little bit out of shape there on the hards. Schumacher through into P2. Now Michael Schumacher on the inside of Massa. Is he going to do it? Yes, he is. Michael Schumacher is leading the Malaysian Grand Prix. His teammate, on the other hand, is down at P12 because he's on the hard tyre strategy, which is not very good, I must say, and so is both McLarens. Webber, Massa and Schumacher are all ahead here, ahead of everyone else. Everyone else would be going slower because of the hard tyres. Now Webber looking for a move around the outside of Schumacher into the final corner. Can he do it? They go wheel to wheel into the final into turn one even. Still wheel to wheel, and Webber seems to have the edge in this battle. Massa following in behind in P3. Webber's still fighting for the lead. Sorry if I'm not talking about it, but I'm just trying to find some stuff. Anyway, Webber and Schumacher still fighting for the lead of this race. Webber currently P2. Schumacher still leading as of now. Massa's dropping back. Hamilton might overtake him. Who's that? Webber now back in the lead. Schumacher P2. Then you have Hamilton P3. Massa P4. These two once again going down, and Schumacher pits on the softs. I thought that was way more dramatic, Jesus Christ. He pits really early onto the hard, so to the end of the Grand Prix. Then you've got Massa and Hamilton fighting for P2 behind. Hamilton's on the hard tyre strap, Massa on the softs. Oh, Hamilton on the inside, but Massa will have faster straight line speed down the straight, and they're drifting around the corner right now. They're drifting around everywhere at the moment. Look at these soft tyres, they're wearing out fast. Schumacher, let's have a look at how he's going. So, currently ahead of Sebastian Vettel, who is not pit, and he's just been overtaken by Vettel on way. He just doesn't have the straight line speed, and I think now the leaders have pit. Heavy rain coming. Webber has boxed. Schumacher, Hamilton, Vettel and Raikkonen all get a free pit stop, technically, because they didn't have to pit, and everyone, oh no, everyone's onto the wets and it hasn't even started raining yet, so that's not very good. But now the rain will come. Hamilton now pits. Webber takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Massa's in P3. Schumacher's in P5. So he's lost out because he pit really early, and anyone who didn't pit gained an advantage. And he pit, so he lost time. It's heavy rain, but it's going back to dry now. Still rain, plenty of rain on the track, so maybe maybe next lap will they start pitting back to the option tyre, or just onto the dries. So through here, around there, and yes, okay, Webber does pit back onto dries. I believe he will be yeah, everyone will be boxing onto softs. I'm not a very big surprise there. Everyone onto the soft tyres. 8 laps to go. Technically 7 laps to go, but the last of the wet tyre runners now have pit. Kobayashi's still entering the pit lane. X is now, yeah, on softs. Okay. It's currently... oh my god. It's gonna rain again, guys. And Hamilton overtakes Vettel on the entry to the pits. I was gonna say it's a Red Bull 1-2, but then it wasn't a Red Bull 1-2. So, yeah. I've pretty much no words for what's happening right now. It's just a period of rain. A period of rain after another. And Webber has came in clutch here. And it's turning dry again. But they're not going to pit because there's still plenty of rain out there on the track. Turning back to dry though, not like sunny, but cloudy at the very best. Webber's got Hulkenberg in front. Hamilton's catching up, but not at the rate Hamilton would want at the moment, because... oh, down the straight though, look at how much pace he's got down the straight. Anyway, Webber still leads with 3 laps to go. It's finally turning dry and into the sunny range, so it's finally going to be sunny, and I believe now the rain will start depleting at a very high rate, but everyone's going to stay out for another lap because there's still some rain on the circuit. I would have pit by now if I were them, but the in this game aren't very intelligent. But everyone now has started to pit. Schumacher's on softs. They've pit a lap early, and the rain is now gone. So has Schumacher made the advantage, or was it a disadvantage? Should you have pit later? Well, we're going to have to find out. Webber out the pits. Look at how much pit stops everyone had to do. Jeez. Webber with 2 laps to go. Looks like he's going to win the Grand Prix, win his first race of the season. And knowing where Vettel is, might take the lead of the championship. Vettel's being chased down by Massa. If Massa overtakes him, then there's a high chance of Webber taking the lead of the championship. But knowing that Vettel won last race, probably not going to happen. Here we go then. Webber on the final lap through the last couple of corners. Soon reaches the checkered flag. He will win his first race this season. And one little weather change in the final corner just for good measure, and Mark Webber wins the Malaysian Grand Prix here in 2012. Hamilton finishes P2. Once again, a great finish for him on the podium. Vettel in P3, Massa P4, Schumacher in P5, then Alonso P6, Button 7th, Rosberg 8th, and once again the Toro Rossos in the top 10 with 9th and 10th, with Ricardo 9th and John O'Rourke 10th. Kobayashi in 11th, then Raikkonen, Maldonado, Grosjean, Perez, with Paul di Resta and Pedro de la Rosa P16, 17, Hulkenberg P18, and then Senna and Carter Kane. So those results look like that. The championship, on the other hand, who's leading? Vettel by 2 points ahead of Hamilton, Webber, Massa and Jensen, with the Mercedes drivers following him behind. Fernando, not the best start to the season, and Red Bull take back the lead of the constructors. Toro Rosso doing a fine job out there, Jesus. I'm very, very surprised that they're doing what they are out there right now. So, congrats to them. Jesus Christ, I'm